Welcome back. My name is Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty. I'm your host here on Whissel Wednesdays. You can tune in to us every Wednesday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. You can also visit our website at whisselwednesdays.com, WHISSEL Wednesdays.com. Check out past episodes of the show. If you have any real estate questions, you can ask them on there as well. Joined today, as always, by Mr. Jason Hall and our special guest, Ms. Gail Weed, Mr. Vince Kingsley with Torrey Pines Bank. You guys dropped a lot of awesome knowledge on us about some of the unique things that a bank like Torrey Pines Bank can do that the traditional lender can't do. But let's get into what traditional lenders can do. And Jason, so let's talk about, before the break, you mentioned a client that we recently helped get a property when there were 20 offers on a single property. And for full disclosure, those 20 offers came in less than a week. I think we were about 3 or 4 days on the market on this particular property. So do you want to kind of talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, for the listeners, if you don't know, the market's really, really hot. Anytime we go into spring, we see inventory and demand pick up, right? The demand definitely picks up. We've been low on inventory. Rates are down right now. That helps the demand cycle pick up. And I can't believe that certain clients don't work with a really good real estate agent and a good real estate lender that work together as a team. And that's the big takeaway in 20 plus years. You've got to work, if you're in this market, if you want to buy a house, you better work with a really good agent and the lender who work together. Because the only way we're getting deals accepted when there's 10 to 30 offers on these properties is doing it together. So on this particular client, Kyle actually knew the agent. My wife knew the seller, and it still didn't overcome the things. There were so many offers and things. They were like, hey, we know you guys. We all have connections. They're from Santee. It was a property in La Mesa right down the street from my house. And we were looking at every angle we could. And ultimately, the client is a current active enlisted Marine. And that was huge. And that tugged at the seller's heart. We found out that, hey, the seller actually appreciates the service that our military men and women do. And we were like, okay, look, we need to go at that angle. How can we help get that done? And they had their cross-approved mortgage lender review our package. The guy didn't have a perfect credit history, had some stuff in the past. That concerned that mortgage lender. Hey, I don't know if Jason and his team can do this. They say they can, but I'm not sure. And so to set that seller and listing agent mind at ease, I said, listen, why don't you talk to my head VA underwriter here at Synergy One Lending, a part of our team, and that will overcome that objection. So sure enough, I went down there at noon. We put in the call, did it right there in the conference room, and they asked all the questions they wanted to directly to my head VA underwriter, who's worked with me for 5 years, came over from my past company into our new company, and that made a huge difference to that seller and listing agent. They were like, wow, thank you, Stephanie, for taking the time to take our call, to answer our questions. We want to be 100% certain that we're picking a good qualified client, because we don't want to get in escrow and 21 days later somebody comes back and say, well, he can't buy the house. And so that's the reason why cross approvals happen. We do them a lot with Kyle Whissel's team. But I think having relationships, doing additional things, there's so much stuff I know you can share, Kyle, that the average agent doesn't do. The average agent never even calls the listing agent, tells them they're sending an offer. They just go, what do you want to offer, Gail, Vince? You guys want to offer $200,000? Okay, right up $200,000, and they just send it. And they hope to get a reply. Well, in today's environment, that doesn't work. But with LinkedIn and Facebook, Google, you can find people in common. You can find out things about that person, find out who that seller is, who that agent is, who do you know in common. Maybe you know them, maybe you went to high school with them. All these things we utilize to make sure we get our offer to the top. And it's more than just price. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just go to the highest price. It's not just price. Sometimes you got to find out where it is there. And so that's a big takeaway that I want to make sure anybody out there listening, whether you're a lender, if you're a real estate agent, if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, I hope you pick the Whissel Realty team. It really is one of the best. I work with a ton of agents, and Kyle really is the best one out there. However, I will tell you, work with a good one. If it's not Kyle and his team, you better work with a good one. If it's somebody that only does 4 or 5, 6 transactions a year, that doesn't have a team behind them, kind of like the Torrey Pines Bank team with Vince and Gail, you guys working together, that is a huge, huge takeaway.
Yeah, the majority of agents out there, we refer to their strategy as spray and pray. And what they do is essentially they just spray offers all over the place and pray that one of them gets accepted. So if you're going to, interview agents to help you find a place to buy, which you should interview agents. The worst thing you can possibly do is go on one of the big websites, Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, and find a home you like and then reach out to whatever agent it gives you.
Right.
That's like, you might as well go to Vegas and just put all your money into the slot machine and pull the handle and hope that 3 7s come up, because that's what you're doing when you're just reaching out to whatever agent pops up on those websites. If you want to interview the agent that pops up, now we're talking. And what you want to do when you're interviewing the agent, one, like Jason mentioned, find out their track record. How many homes have they sold? Especially how many homes have they sold in that area? You want to make sure that this person's going to have some local market knowledge, especially if you have kids. School district might be important to you. If you're, a single guy or gal and you're looking for, things to do in the area, you want somebody who's going to be able to help you out and guide you to some of those things that you can do that are going to appeal to you and your particular lifestyle. And then most importantly, ask them, what's their strategy when they're writing an offer on a property and it's a competing situation? Are they going to just submit the offer and wait and see what happens? Or are they going to be proactive? One of the things we do, and you mentioned leveraging social media. We were talking with one of my top agents, JC Agajanian, does a ton of business down in the Point Loma, Ocean Beach area. Every single time that we're showing a property to a client, first thing I do before we ever even look at the property is find that agent on Facebook and on LinkedIn and add them before I ever even show the property. Because I don't want it to come in after we see the property and we like it, then go add them on the social media. I want to add them on social media before we ever even look at the property, because that way, by the time that we've actually shown the property.
That's a huge takeaway. So anybody out there listening in real estate, I hope you guys noted that. Go ahead, Kyle. Sorry.
So that way, by the time we've shown the property, we actually are interested in putting an offer in on it. They've, at this point, accepted the friend request or accepted the ad on LinkedIn. And now I can see, who do we have in common? We call this triangling. Triangling is very important. Let's say, Vince, I see that you're the agent on this property, but I don't know you yet. But then I look on your friends list and I see that you know Jason. Rather than me trying to talk directly to you, Vince, I can talk to Jason, who knows you. Jason can put in a good word for me and connect the two of us together. And now, by being introduced to you by one of your trusted friends, it makes that introduction a whole lot easier, and it makes our offer stand out from the competition. So
because people want to do business with people they know and trust.
Exactly.
Right? That's all. Don't you guys want to do business? I mean, that's what you do at Torrey Pines Bank, right, Gail? I mean, you're looking to build a relationship. After a year to 5 years, that person comes with a $50,000 check. You're going to go, yeah, I trust that person. It's good. I want to do business with that person.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, if you don't mind me adding, when my wife and I bought and sold the houses that we were in before and the house we're in now, it's exactly what you're talking about. We didn't interview the real estate agent.
Rookie mistake.
It was a knock on the door. The guy was in the neighborhood, every month for, I don't know, the 10 years that we were living there, and we used him, and we regretted it.
Yeah.
And that it's excellent advice.
Yeah. Always interview multiple agents. Again, you're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170. My name's Kyle Whissel, talking with my lender, Jason Hall, with Team Home Loans. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, any of those, or put your money into a bank, you always want to interview multiple people. You've got to find out, one, who do you click with? Because that's going to be really important. You don't want to work with somebody that you don't. There's a point you got to have a good feeling about.
Truth
somebody.
Is, I don't
click
with everybody, right, Kyle? I mean, you've known me long enough. I think I'm a likable guy, but I realize I don't click with everybody. But I also realize at a young age, not everybody's going to like me, and I'm okay with that, right? Because if I try to impress everybody, I'm never going to get anything done.
Right.
So sorry jumping on there.
Yeah, but you got to think, buying, selling, investing, these are going to be some of the biggest investments you ever make in your entire life. Don't just roll the dice with whatever agent Zillow gives you. I mean, you could really, really do a lot of damage to your entire family and
why
your
does Zillow
future.
give you that agent?
Because that agent is paying Zillow money.
That's exactly why. It's nothing else. They don't look at the history. It's not because of the reviews. It's simply, how much do you pay? We're going to put you at the top of the list.
Exactly. Zillow and all of those sites, Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, those sites are getting paid to put agents into those positions so that you will reach out to them. So the best thing you can do, again, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, find out who they've used and who they've actually had good experiences with. Go on Google and just search these people's names. If you're going to list your house and you can't find your real estate agent on Google, guess what that means?
Yeah, they're not going to find your house.
They're not going to find your house when it comes time for a buyer to find your house. When your house is on the market.
Everybody looks online. That's where everybody starts to look to buy.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, you bought a house. You probably started by searching and looking. What's the values? What's going on?
Well,
right?
No, you got to remember,
Vince?
I'm really old. The internet wasn't invented.
Man, come on.
Al Gore hadn't invented the
you and I
internet
had.
yet.
Yeah, I mean, we were interviewing for a listing down in Coronado yesterday, and I did a ton of research on all the agents down there in Coronado, and so many of them are so old school. They're not leveraging the new school techniques that it takes to sell a home. And you've got to think, and especially in Coronado, only a small percentage of the buyers are actually coming from Coronado. A lot of them are coming from outside of Coronado in San Diego County, other parts of California, and even internationally. So when it comes to marketing a product or a property, you want an agent who knows how to tap into those outside markets and one who knows where those markets are. Specifically in Coronado, the buyers are coming from 5 specific states in the United States: Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Texas. They're coming in Arizona. They're coming from very specific states. So you want an agent that knows where the buyers are coming from and how to tap into those networks. I mean, that's what really makes an agent different. If your agent's just going to do, I think we had Kevin Dutois on the show, Newport Beach, awesome guy.
Right.
Talked about the 3 Ps of most agents, and they put the property on the MLS.
They pray.
Put a signpost up, and then they pray. And they just wait and wait for buyers to call them. So you want somebody who's going to be proactive if you're looking to sell, and especially if you're going to buy. The fact that, Jason was reaching out to the lender on that particular, or to the agent on that property and talking directly to the seller, getting the underwriters involved. You want somebody who's going to go above and beyond to help you get that house. I mean, that's the key when you're in a competitive market like we are today, because we're seeing multiple offers. Virtually every property we list, within a matter of days, we're seeing multiple offers.
So if you're out there listening and your offer's not getting accepted, you're working with the wrong real estate and lending team. And realtors, find a good lender, be loyal, and stick to them. That's the best advice I can tell you. Kyle had to call me at 7:30, like, look, we've got a counter. The buyer needs to talk to you before he pulls the trigger, but if we don't answer like in 20 minutes, we're not getting the deal. He emailed me, he called me, he texted me. Finally, I looked down, I saw this stuff happening. I got on the phone after 7:30. I talked to the client. We confirmed that he could afford the payment. He knew exactly where he's at. We made that happen. But that's my takeaway for all those agents. I mean, get involved. And buyers, make sure your agent and your lender know one another. I'm so amazed when I go, well, who are they working with? I don't know. I go, you're writing offers and you don't even really know who they're working with and if they're really pre-approved? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So again, if you're listening to the show right now, you've been thinking about buying, selling, you want to work with a team that's really going to have your back when it comes to going to bat for you and separating your offer from the competition. If you've written 5-10 offers with other agents and you're not getting your offers accepted, shoot us a text or give us a call here at Whissel Wednesday, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Love to connect you with my team at Whissel Realty, Jason's team over at Team Home Loans. And if you're looking for some banking needs in the commercial side, some of the outside the box kind of things, that's where the team with Vince and Gail over at Torrey Pines Bank can come in and help. 619-663-7355. Thanks so much for listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170.
Put your lips together and you come real close. Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby. Here we